Good morning. It's 5:45 now, and we're headed to the Seneca Rocks area in West Virginia. Gonna hike the North Fork Mountain Trail, which is roughly 25-ish miles. Yeah. Good times. Good times ahead.
Oh, alright, so we made it to the northern end of the North Fork Mountain Trail. We got a shuttle from this sweet lady that we never actually found out her name. But she owns the renovated barn in Seneca Rocks.
Called the Seneca Rocks Barn.
Called the Seneca Rocks Barn. And offers shuttles for folks wanting to hike the North Fork Mountain Trail. So we got to ride up here from her and getting after it. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
You ready, Derek?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. I want to go that way though. I want to find the actual sign. All right. Woo! 7/10 of a mile in, and we've already had like 3 amazing views. I mean, this trail is just full of them. I'm digging it, loving it. So it reminds me of like Tinker Cliffs on the AT. Cliff faces, really cool. I love it. We got ourselves a climb. That, sir, was a climb.
That was unnecessary.
Unnecessary roughness in the woods. Oh, man. Good job.
Didn't stop.
Good morning. It is the morning of day 2 for the North Fork Mountain Trail. Oh, I sleep so good in the outdoors. Oh, Slept so good last night. Changed my Dexcom sensor this morning. Ate some trail mix. Did some stretching in the tent. Feeling good. Gotta have some coffee here, get the juices flowing, and get back at it. I stayed at this campsite where you can look out and you can see Seneca Rocks below, which is really cool. Clouded over, so we couldn't really fully see the sunset last night, but a cool spot. You could definitely have some killer sunsets here if the clouds would allow that. Yeah, it's really cool just seeing down over the valley here. It was cool. The whole day yesterday, we pretty much had views the whole way. So, yeah, really cool. Really unique vegetation here, forest vegetation. You know, they say it's the driest, like, mountain in the Appalachians. And it's very unique. It's very cool. There's always something to look at, which is pretty sweet. So, all right. I've been told you perform how you train, and so every chance I get, every weekend I get off, I've really been enjoying getting into the outdoors more post AT. And this was one of the trails that came onto our radar. This was a weekend that it worked for both of us to get out, and we kind of decided, let's do something that we've never done before. Testing a few pieces of gear out here. One of those is sun hoodie. I'm wearing this guy. This was literally 14 bucks off of Amazon, so not super expensive, not a high-end piece of ultralight backpacking gear by any means. But I've never hiked in a long sleeve shirt before. I rarely wear long sleeves at all. I rarely hike in a mid-layer. I've since the AT ditched my puffy, and I now hike with 2 mid layers, an Appalachian Gear Co. alpaca wool hoodie and a Bergeron Outdoor Polar Tech micro fleece. The other gear I'm testing is a pair of hiking boots. I've got now about 40 miles on the boots that I'm wearing. They are Vivo Barefoot boots. They are not waterproof. They are leather. They are fairly light. And I would say 40 miles of trail under my belt. I love them. It's been taking some getting used to because they are barefoot. So you feel the rocks, you feel the roots. And my feet have gotten a little bit more tired than if I were wearing my Lone Peak Ultras, but I feel like my feet have been recovering better, and I love the ankle support, and they're probably wider than Ultras, Lone Peaks, and so far they have been a joy to have on my feet. So we're testing these guys out, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see if this could possibly be the hiking boot I've been looking for. I've been looking for hiking boots for years. And if you hiked around me last year on the AT, you know I had been on a search for hiking boots, and just with no success. You either have, most manufacturers, all their boots are waterproof. Or then I've had issues with boots where they've been too tight on the sides of my feet, and going down hills have put my feet asleep because it's cut off like blood flow. Last year on the AT, my Ultra Olympuses, the tread literally came off the bottom. And so on the climb down into Port Clinton last year, PA, and if you know, you know, I had no traction whatsoever, and slid on my butt all the way down that hill because there was no more tread left on my boots. And I've had the same Same issues with the high top Lone Peaks. I just do not get the miles out of them that I get out of the low Lone Peaks. So, and I live in Lone Peaks. I love Lone Peaks. However, on a long distance trail, and especially on a long day, when you're doing longer miles, towards the end of the day, when you start to get a little bit tired and you're just pushing through, I tend to check out mentally a little bit, and I've had some issues with rolling my ankles. So that's why I want boots, for ankle stability. So we're testing, and so far so good. All right, we're gonna keep cruising along. There are just countless very cool views on the North Fork Trail. And lots of rocks that could be climbed. Lots of adventuring. Woo. Yeah. Woohoo! Good job, man. We survived.
We did survive.
Made it home from our little weekend excursion. Just some final thoughts on the North Fork Mountain Trail. I really enjoyed it. It was a fantastic trip. It was a fantastic trail. It felt very wild to me, which was pretty cool. It was very peaceful. Views galore, and some amazing views that I would say rival views that you got on the Appalachian Trail. It would remind me a lot of like the Virginia section of the Appalachian Trail, so like a combo of like McAfee Knob, Tinker Cliffs, the ups and downs that you dealt with like in Virginia there. The trail was pine needly and soft in parts. It was rocky in other parts. I think the hardest thing is the water carry. There is no water on the trail, and there's supposed to be a spring at like the midway point. We never found a spring at the midway point. There would be some access on side trails to get off the ridgeline, but just be aware, if you take one of these access off the ridgeline, you're going to be dropping some pretty hefty elevation, and then you're going to have to climb back up it. So there would really be water access. It's just after doing the trail, I can see why the general hiker that's out there hiking this trail is probably not going to do that. We lucked out. There was someone had stashed a couple gallons of water at the halfway point, and so we had a gallon of water there where we both filled up some water there and had enough to make it to the end. So I started the trail with 4.5 gallons, or I started the trail with 4.5 liters of water. My friend Derek started the trail with 6 liters of water. If I would have had 6 liters of water, I could have made it to the end easily. That was with 1 overnight. Probably could have done 2 overnights in that case. If Derek would have had 8 liters of water, he could have done the same thing. So I would say you need 6 to 9 liters of water per person to do the trail, especially if you want to do 1 or 2 overnights in there. We did an 8.6 mile day, and then we did a long day yesterday and did it 16.6 mile day to make it to the end. And I had 3.5 liters, and I drank all of that in that stretch. There are several tough ups and downs in there, so it's fun, you know. It's not like super aggressive climbs. Like, I've done harder climbs, you know, but it's an easy trail. You can do it in a weekend. If you're a rock climber, there's multiple options for climbing at Seneca Rocks specifically. Lots of camping in the area. You also have the Dolly Sods Wilderness, which is on the opposite side, and lots of hiking there. Just a really cool area. I love that part of West Virginia. You would also have Cooper's Rock State Park, which is another really cool state park, and some hiking there. You can hike down to the Cheat River there. So yes, big thumbs up for me. I say add it to your list. I think if you were to hike it, you would say the same thing.